Welcome to the Tennis Warehouse string review of Babolat RPM Soft. RPM Soft lives up to its name by offering a plush and comfortable feel on every shot. Unlike other members of the RPM family, RPM Soft features a polyamide core with a co-poly wrap and a silicone coating. To put RPM to the test, we tried it strung up in several rackets, both as a full set and as a hybrid, strung up with some of our favorite polys. I used RPM Soft mostly as a full set. I first started it out with my regular racket, the Technofiber TF40 with this 1820 string pattern. I also hit it in more open pattern rackets like this Strike right here. And I found it to play better in the denser pattern rackets just because this is a really soft plush string. So it offers a livelier feel than I'm typically used to that I get from the co-polys that I use. And it also does move and get stuck out of position quite a lot. And I found that to happen less in the dense pattern than it does in something like this 1619 where the racket is really allowing the strings to move around. And I was getting the strings to notch pretty early in the open pattern rackets and also just get stuck out of position, so I was straightening them a lot. And I'd struggled to really get the spin and the dip that I usually get out of an RPM string to get the ball to drop inside the lines. Much less so with that issue with the dense pattern, so I preferred it there. Up at net when I was volleying with it, great touch and feel of this string, gets me really connected to the ball. I also like the power I got on first serve deliveries when I was looking to put away a ground stroke, but definitely spin generation is coming more from me and the racket down the string bed with this one.
As soon as I saw the specs of the string, I was very excited to get this from the string machine to the court. With the polyamide core, co-poly wraps, and the silicone coating, I was interested to see how this would hold up over time with kind of that soft plush feel along with some good spin. For about the first hour or so, from the warm-up to about the end of the first set, I had a great time with this string, and it was actually one of my favorites for that kind of softer poly or kind of that hybrid multi-poly core. Now, once I got done with that first set, I did notice the string was starting to notch up on me a little bit, and I was doing a full bed at about 54 pounds at that point. So what I decided to do was to try some hybrids out with it to see if it would hold up better with the notching. So my favorite setup was to use a soft cross with the multi-filament, and the cross at about 56 with the mains keeping the RPM soft at about 54 pounds. What I noticed in that case is the strings were able to move pretty well, the RPM soft snapped back, and it was able to still give me that good soft feel along with pretty good spin. I would say if you're somebody who likes to hybrid and thinking about doing the RPM soft maybe in your cross with a main of a poly, a stiffer poly, I would probably hesitate from doing that just because that silicone coating is a little bit sticky and it was unable to let that poly string move, so I wasn't able to get as much spin as I was desiring out of that case. I would say if I was to recommend this for any player, any junior who's maybe around the age 12 to 14 looking to move up from that multi-filament or synthetic gut into a stiffer string, this is a good transition into that polyester feel. Or for any player who's maybe a senior player or struggling with some arm issues, this is a nice one to hit with as well in that full bed. Just again, after a little bit of time, it is prone to some notching. So to conclude, if you're looking for a softer string that's going to provide good feel, good comfort, and pretty good spin off the bat, this is definitely one I would recommend checking out.
We tried Babolat RPM Soft as both the full set and as a hybrid with it in the mains as well as in the crosses at a variety of tensions ranging from the low 50s all the way up into the high 50s. And this is a string, if you're a poly player, I would definitely recommend going up a couple of pounds on this one. For more information on this string or anything else tennis related, be sure to go to Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Warehouse Europe, or Tennis Only.